There it is. Good evening. This is Andre here out of Jacksonville, Florida. With fellow business partners Ian, Neil, and Patricia. Yes, from literally all over the world. Yeah, two people from the UK and one from out of the West Coast of California. But I'm not going to go too much in detail about it yet, about what we're going to talk about. Just let everybody introduce themselves, starting with Miss Patricia. So go ahead, Patricia.
Hi, everybody. My name is Patricia Henry, and I am teammates here and business partners with the panel that you see here. And like Andre said, I'm from California, Victorville, California, up here in the high desert where it's 103 degrees today, super hot. And what I love about our hangouts here, Overcoming the Odds, is that we all get together. We're a little international group here, and I just love coming together and brainstorming, talking about different stumbling blocks or roadblocks or solutions that we can put together and brainstorm to take our businesses to the next level.
Yeah, and I'm going next. I'm Ian from the UK as well, and currently looking at my phone stacked on a load of books because the internet's not working. And I'm not going to say anything about excuses because we're going to go over this now with prioritizing stuff and really getting organized in your life and you know, it's about doing whatever it takes, and that's what we're showing here tonight. So yeah, short and simple.
Okay, thanks, Ian. Well, yeah, my name's Neil. I'm also from the UK. I actually met these guys on at an event in Las Vegas, and since then we've actually managed to start a regular hangout, and it's just I suppose what we're going to be speaking about tonight. Really, it's about defining what is important and what's not important within your business. So you know, every single Friday, as regular as clockwork, 11 p.m., which is our time in the UK. It's 6 p.m. over where Andre is, and it's 3 p.m. if I'm not mistaken where Patricia is. So we're on three different time zones here, but we all meet here regular as clockwork because it is absolutely important within our business. So something that we will be discussing throughout this hangout about what is important and what's not important within our business, and what you should actually be, what you should also be doing too. So with that, Andre, I'll shoot it back over to you.
All right, great. Because now let's just get right into it. We're in the home-based business profession. I know personally I've been in the profession for 5 years, and when I was first started, I was doing really more so offline. Now I'm doing it online. But when I was offline, the important things that I had to do was, for one, building a list. I'm talking about a physical list. I'm talking about a piece of paper, write down some names, write down numbers. All right? Step one. Step two, making that call. Trust me, for those that understand where I'm coming from, that were doing it, building the business offline, that phone felt like it was 1,000 pounds picking it up just to get a friend that you probably known for like over 10 years to look at your opportunity. But it had to be done. Book the appointment, do a one-on-one, two, as we used to call to the offline part of the profession, the STP. Show them the plan. Show the plan, which we did. Well, now you're either going to get them as a rep or you're going to get them as a customer. But pretty much those little simple steps right there, too. Oh, also, too, is either the follow-up, too, because they still might have some questions as well, too, so when they answer the questions, you also call either your sponsor of your upline or somebody else who's very well-known to your business as far as just to educate them more so as far as your opportunity. But those simple steps right there were just basically, as far as very important, getting that done. Those were income-producing activities that we call them too, and also in the profession as well, as far as building a list, making the contacts, showing the plan, and then following up on them to either get them as either as a rep or as a customer. Now, the online world, a little bit different because now pretty much we can get a little bit wider view, listen a little bit more, not so much a little broader view as far as more people coming in. Because literally, like you notice too, from the people that we have here in this panel, literally worldwide too. If you're building offline, you really are limited unless you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody too that does happen. I'm not bashing on that at all whatsoever, because I did see that happen. You might be having somebody that's basically like a neighbor, like in your same neighborhood. They might know somebody who is, say, a vice president of a company in a different state. That does happen. And let's say they can put in 50 people when they see the opportunity. For this right here, basically online too, it's almost the same thing too. It's almost the same way, but instead of just basically doing everything like we're doing right, like I was mentioning, as far as putting it on paper, you can do it online so much better too. Because obviously we can have, for one, you might opt into a capture page. All right. Then after that, you put in your email address. You start getting emails as far as what, not so much the opportunity online, but maybe just value too. Maybe you are building the business offline and you're trying to figure out, okay, how can I make this a little bit easier? Just how can I get my name out there? How can I get a little bit more better leverage? That's just kind of a little bit, my partake is basically coming from the offline side of stuff, as far as like, okay, this is important, this has to be done too. The online stuff, like I said, it's a little bit different as far as you can send out value pretty much almost every day, every so many hours, as we had some people in our company do, as far as just pumping out value. Not so much to showing an opportunity. You might be somebody who's like, okay, I've seen this before. What else do they have to bring to the table? And then next thing you know, email after email, they're like, whoa, you just keep on opening the emails up, because what they're doing, they show you ways how to build your business, be it social media or maybe banner ads too. You probably never thought about that. Autoresponder, which is crucial. That's just to say, throw the paper and pencil away when it comes to building a business offline. That's pretty much a crucial way as far as building your business, because now you can get a list and build it up so much bigger too and better than have to keep up with the paperwork, making the calls, whatever. One email you can send out to literally hundreds of people. Just the same type of value. So I'm not going to keep on going on and on as far as that. Neil, I'll let you mention a little bit too as far as your own experience, because you're a little bit more so online than I was offline too, as far as building the business.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got started online, I was in between. I was sort of both online and offline at the same time, because when I first got started online, I was actually introduced to the internet marketing thing by someone called Andrew Reynolds, and what he was doing was actually selling physical products offline, but he would deliver them offline, but he would sell them online. So it's like a physical product. So that's obviously an offline thing. You can't deliver physical products online, but you would sell them online. So it's kind of a bit of both. But with that, I had some direction in which I was going, but it didn't really amount to much for me. So I sort of realised that the problem for me with physical products is when you buy it, you're in one frame of mind. You're ready to get started, which is why you made the decision to get started. But once the product has been delivered to you, you're in a completely different frame of mind. You're still excited. You want to see it and you want to go through it, but you're still not in the same frame of mind of when you first purchased it. So you go through it with a completely separate mindset. And I found that maybe it was the surroundings I was in. At the time I was with a girl, and she actually had 3 kids, so I had a lot of things going off around me, and obviously the focus wasn't entirely there. But with that, I got sidetracked with that into other businesses. But that was the other thing as well. I didn't realise what was actually important within my business, because although I had somebody sending me information about saying what it is that I needed to do within my business, they didn't keep in contact with me on a regular basis. They would send me one DVD every single month, and on that's a pre-recorded message. So if I had any questions, I would have to go through a particular help desk. I didn't find him. I'd never speak to him, but I would get to his help desk. So, when I veered off course, which inevitably people do, I had nobody to steer me back on, because although, he was holding me accountable by sending me DVDs, I had nobody in regular contact, because, that's just the way he chose to do it. So because I had nobody in regular contact with me, I found it easy to get straight offline. I didn't realise what was important to me, and what I defined as being important was, like you say, reading your emails, trying to keep on top of your emails. But what I didn't realise at that time is I got caught up with subscribing to every single bit of information I could find to try and get more information to learn about the business. So I was focusing my attention on reading the emails rather than applying to my business. And it was just so easy to get distracted with everything that was going off. And again, I felt that, I mean, I'm not at all trying to say it's his fault I failed, by no means least, not at all. But I'm just saying that if you had somebody there to sort of talk to you and say, look, I just want to follow up with you, I just want to see how you're doing, you know, how are you doing right now, it might have knocked me back on course. And I think sometimes just having somebody there just to do that, it might sort of help you find your track again. But I sort of lost what was important to me and what was important to my business because I had nobody there to point me in the right direction. And again, because I was quite new to the internet, because I was quite new to the business, I just didn't understand exactly what it was to run a business, to what it was to actually do anything. So I didn't really understand exactly what I was doing. So I thought if I was just reading these emails, taking as much information in as I could, eventually it would lead to something. But, you know, I suppose the flip side of it, and actually reviewing it by hindsight, it's easy to say, obviously, I was not building a business, I was not doing anything, I was procrastinating. But at that point, I thought I was doing something, I was building my business because I was learning information and this and that. But, you know, it's like I say, easily sidetracked, but I didn't really understand what it was to build a business. I didn't understand the principles of building a business. I didn't understand what I needed to be focusing on, what the important parts of my business were. I didn't understand none of that. And I mean, again, later on when I did actually get into another business that I actually decided to take up on, it was with someone called Chris Cobb, and it was CPA marketing. But when I actually went to see him, I mean, I'm not again at all saying anything that he did was wrong. I just felt that what he actually told me was, if you brought leads, then that's your quick way to get started online. And I just like thinking about it. It made sense. You've brought emails. You've now got people to talk to. But again, it's like, well, that's the wrong way to do it, because these people don't know you from anything. So you're buying something and you're sending them emails and they're not expecting your emails. They don't know what they're about or anything like that. So it's just like, you know, you're not building your business the most productive way. So again, what I felt he was telling me was important to my business, but I just don't feel it served a purpose and it was helping me in the right way. So, you know, like I say, many experiences that I've had online all culminated to the fact that I just needed to focus in one direction. But I feel each learning curve that I've come across has taught me important lessons that I needed to learn in my business. And that is why I've managed to, I suppose, how I've managed to find Empower Network and why I stuck to this message, because it means a lot more to me now, realizing so much and I suppose really taking my business to the next level by learning the principles of doing what's important and interacting with your people and teaching them how to build their business and what is important, what's most important to their business. Sorry if I went off on a bit of a tangent there.
Oh, no. Tangents are now. You should know about that by now. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, that's one thing that pretty much what you just said, too, that talking about being important, getting your laser focus, too, in the direction they need to go. That's one thing that's important. And let's go and throw it over to Ian, because I know, Ian, even though I know you probably haven't really been in the profession as long as we have too, but I don't know how many times we talked about as far as, you know, trying to prioritize things as far as getting things in order. So go ahead and tell a little bit of your own experience, man.
Yeah, so like when I got so like my experience is like growing up on my family's farm. So like there's all these excuses that we have of like, oh, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, and everything else, and it's kind of like everything seems like it's kind of overwhelming, and it seems like there's so much to do that there's never enough time. And maybe, you know, have these excuses from time to time that how am I going to put this work into my online business? How am I going to, you know, find the time to make this happen? And it's kind of like, until we really get set on what matters most to us, then that's what I found anyway with my experience. Then until I've figured out, you know, what's more important to me, figuring out, you know, how to work this online business so that I can, you know, have more time and give more time to my family, so they don't have to work so hard on the farm. They can cut back on the amount of work they do, and also just prioritizing what matters most. Are you gonna be sat there procrastinating all day, or just really focusing on what matters most? And at the end of the day, your family matters most. Your friends matter most. It's not about all this material possessions, the money, or anything like that. And it's like, until I figured that, like, you just got to do whatever it takes, and that's it. And I'm kind of, I'm going to pass it over because I'm not actually feeling the most well tonight. So yeah, if anyone else wants to speak, go ahead. And yeah.
No, you did fine, because now you just mentioned right there, okay, first, Neil was talking about getting direction. You mentioned as far as your why. That's pretty much really important, too, because that's the whole purpose you doing this profession in the first place, is your why. So, yeah, that's very crucial. That's pretty much number uno when you begin this as well. So now, with that least, we're going the other way with Patricia. Go ahead, Patricia, as far as your own intake, as far as important and not important.
Well, again, what's important, of course, if we have our own businesses, we're all individual entrepreneurs. Again, as human beings, we cannot be by ourselves. Meaning, when a baby's born, they have to have the mom or the dad to nurture them. And that's one thing I like about, again, coming together with this group of people that we have here. And as we bring people into our business, we have the option of giving them that support that they need so that they can be successful. And that's one thing that I like about our new blogging system. It's been upgraded. It's called Kalatu, the Kalatu Premium. We have the basic, but then we also have the Kalatu Premium, and with that comes a lot of wonderful features. Like yesterday we had the webinar about that, and Travis, is the person that is doing the 7-minute blog hacks. And that is ideal because we could watch it for 7 minutes, and then what they did is we can implement whatever it is in 7 minutes. So as opposed to watching maybe a half an hour video or something like that, and then not implementing it. Yes, we can watch it, stop, start, but at least with 7 minutes we can watch it, get an overall view of what it's about, and then go back and implement it. So we're not by ourselves. We have a system in place that can help us to achieve almost anything we want to do. So, Andre, like I said, I don't know at what point you want to get to the point where reasons people keep failing in their business, why they keep believing that they fail. So, we can go over those a little later, but there's just questions that they need to ask themselves. Self-limiting beliefs, things that they think that they cannot overcome. Well, we have our whys. Why we're in business. First of all, a lot of us don't want to go to a 9-to-5 job. We want to have the freedom to live the life the way we want to for ourselves and for our families. And having our own business, having this vehicle that we have, can allow us to have the freedom and the lifestyle that we want.
All right, I didn't want to pretty much go into much the negative part, but I mean it's not so much negative because I think it's just as important to know as far as important stuff as far as when you are building a business online, because you might be somebody who has seen this for the first time thinking, okay, these people are building a business online too. I already heard one person mention as far as talking about direction. You got that direction, what Neil mentioned. Ian mentioned as far as to your why. Too, as far as how important that is, which is always crucial, especially if you built businesses before. And Patricia just mentioned as far as just the environment too, the surroundings that you have, because it's a positive environment as far as helping you, uplift you, to empower you to keep on going on. Because I mean, let's be real, you're gonna have distractions. If you, let's say, if you try to build a business offline, and this is from my own experience, and I know some people might have mentioned this before, you're thinking, okay, let me try to use social media because that's the thing that's on the popper now. You might not know how to actually build it on social media, but like, all right, let me try to just do simple thing, Facebook chatting. You want on Facebook chatting, you want to message somebody, but oh, what's going on? What's going on here? Oh, your timeline starts to go on because people are just posting a whole bunch of videos about whatever, pictures, whatever. So you start looking at the pictures, you start liking them, or you might want to comment here. Next thing you know, 2 hours later, you haven't really done anything because like, oh crap, I was supposed to go and start prospecting somebody. Yeah, I know because like I said, I did this before when when I was building my business offline too. This is like you're talking about 3-4 years ago. But when you are laser focused and knowing where you want to go, pretty much again what you mentioned earlier, Neil, as far as your direction, you will pretty much bring yourself right on the course too. Now, obviously too, which is very crucial, is always the company events. We like to have our company events every 90 days too because yeah, you need to not so much you need to get motivated too, but also learn some new tips because you're always going to learn something new. I don't care how long you've been in the profession. It could be like a year, it could be 20 years. You're always gonna, or more. You're always going to learn something new too, or you're going to see somebody who's like just on the come up in your company who's making things happen. You're like, wow, it's going to be very inspiring. Now they might be moving out of desperation mentality because we've had some people that have either been in foreclosure too, or basically literally coming off the streets for whatever situation too, but they made it happen too. They made a decision to say, all right, this is enough. I'm making this happen too. Now going back to what you were mentioning, Patricia, as far as the flip side, the not so important stuff. That's one of them. As far as you're basically on Facebook and you're wasting your time. It's not just so much Facebook. There are other social media platforms. You can be on Instagram, want to look through every picture known to mankind, like you never seen a picture before in your life. Some people like to go through that. You keep on scrolling. Next thing you know, you keep on scrolling the whole time. Hour later, you haven't gotten anything done. But how about like maybe posting something, a motivational quote too, something that just kind of inspiring too, hit that will put eyeballs on as far as to your profile. Another thing too that could be kind of like a distraction is YouTube. As powerful as that tool can be, people will be looking at every type of video and whatever, but not really trying to, let's say, do something as far as being productive, maybe making their own video. What we were talking about, and Patricia, we were mentioning this earlier, we have an Inner Circle audio too within our company, which is pretty much just to help wash our brains of this pretty much the negativity that you basically see every day. Whether you're on your job too, you're self-employed, or whether you're an employee, you need to wash your brain out for that mentality because society doesn't know where they're going. Jim Rohn mentioned it several years ago. Walk away from the 97%. Love them to death too. Talking about your friends or family too, but and they don't really have a clear laser focus of where they're going to. They're just pretty much just walking over the place as far as repeating the same stuff too. Like I said, nothing bad too, because I mean some people are actually doing stuff because I'm trying to provide for the families too. But there's also other possibilities out there, so it could be you don't have to be so much of a let's say of a struggle for your life too. You don't have to worry about getting the next paycheck going toward bills per se. So again, this is some stuff as far as the not important stuff as far as building a business. And the stuff you have to watch out for, especially when you're online too. I don't know if you guys got any other ones too off your mind that you want to share. Go ahead.
Yeah, to be honest, I was going to. I didn't want to interrupt you, so I thought I'd just wait till you'd finished. But what I was actually going to discuss is it's kind of what's important, but also what's not important, because you can actually say that, for example, email marketing. You've got to send your emails out in order to get your message out and trying to get some interaction with your people. But at the same time, it's quite easy to get distracted in your own emails. You need to also keep on top of them because people might be sending you actual messages that you need to keep on top of. But it's really just focusing on what's actually important. And if you're allowing yourself to get sucked into every single video that's available to you, if you was on YouTube, every single post that's available to you on Facebook, every single email that you get sent on email, then you're going to get lost because there's so many different things. If you think Facebook is 24 hours a day. Someone is always on Facebook, regardless of what time of day it is. There is over 1 billion users on Facebook, so there's always someone online. So I don't know about everyone else's particular preference, but me, I'm always not available when it comes to being on Facebook, and that's nothing against the people at all. You know, I get along with. There's not anybody on Facebook that I don't get along with, but I choose to have mine in unavailable for a specific period, because at least that way I still get them now. I mean, if you actually look to my Facebook, my inbox, I still get inundated with messages. All people are doing is saying hello, and it's like, don't get me wrong, I do respond back and say hello. It's not particularly at that present moment, because I don't really get sucked away from what I'm actually doing. Now, that's something I was very guilty of previously. I would have my emails open, I would have Facebook open, I'd have YouTube open, and I'd have a million and different things open. Now, they are all important, but they're all important if you stick to one thing and get it done, because at the end of it, you get so focused, sorry, you don't get focused, but you get so distracted by everything, you actually get very little done. So what I'm trying to say is, when you're sticking to what's important, just make sure that you're getting done what you need to get done. Don't say that I'm going to take 2 minutes out just to check this email, I'm going to take 2 minutes out just to reply to this post or like this page, whatever it is you want to do. Take time out. So if you're going to write an email, craft that email, finish that email. That is important. When you've finished, then you go on to the next important part and the next important part. What I've actually done, I've been on my laptop all day, pretty much since about 10 o'clock this morning. Now, I've been recording a load of videos for my people, but that for me was important. Now, I've actually spent the best part of 10 hours today recording them videos. So what I've done is I focused on it, but at the same time, I still allowed myself time to do normal things. So I still went on Facebook, I still checked things out, but I was very disciplined about what I was doing. My focus was getting the videos recorded. That is the important part. Keeping up to date with Facebook, not so much important. There are things on there that are of importance, i.e. when Andre posted this hangout, I posted that onto my page, but not for a few hours afterwards, because, you know, no disrespect to Andre, no disrespect to anybody that's on here. At that present moment, I needed to stay focused with what I was doing. So it's easy to get distracted with everything that's going off in your life and everything that's available to you online, but the only way you're going to get anything done is if you stay focused. So if you're emailing that list, don't think that, oh, I just take 2 minutes out to do this, or, you know, I just quickly go and do that. Whatever it is you're doing, stay focused at it, get it done, and then move on to something else. Allow yourself breaks. So don't, like I say, I've spent 10 hours today working, not 10 hours flat out. I did like 5 hours, then I allowed myself half an hour break. Kind of like a normal job. So 5 hours, half an hour break. Went back at it, worked at it. I didn't think I was that long, but I spent another 5-6 hours working at it again. So,
and it's so easy, Neil, for things to get away from you or get away from us. That's why. Yes. That's why it's so important to make that list, you know, and then prioritize that list.
Yeah, exactly. But whereas I was focusing towards something that was actually going to build my business, I also understand it's very easy to get caught up in conversations with people, checking Facebook statuses, watching the latest YouTube viral trend or anything like that. It's quite easy to get caught up in that and get caught up in the moment. And then, but the thing is, once you check one out, you're then going to see another, because that's the way Facebook and YouTube work. So you click on something, it will then throw you another thing that's very, very targeted towards that particular video or Facebook post. So it's going to get you to engage into that one and then into that one. And before you know it, 20 minutes has gone by, 30 minutes has gone by, an hour has gone, 2 hours have gone. It's so easy to lose track of time. But the most important thing, if you're trying to build your business, is staying focused to what it is you need to do. So if you need to craft that email, if you need to post that particular Facebook page, engage with certain people, I'm not saying don't do that, I'm saying do that. But understand the difference between engaging people for social events and engaging with people for business events. If you're doing it for your business, that is a must. If you want your business to grow, then that is a must. I'm not saying that that has to take preference, and it's nothing against your social life, but your social life, if you're so focused on your business and you want your business to grow, sometimes you have to make the choice between the two. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to give that social life a miss and just say, I'm not doing that right now, I'm going to do this instead. If you're focused enough, you will see results. If you're going to allow yourself to easily be distracted, like I've just mentioned about the Facebook and the YouTube and the emails, then you're going to get caught up in life, and before you know it, 2 days have gone by, 3 weeks have gone by, 4 months have gone by, and you've made no results. This is why you don't get no results, because you're allowing yourself to get easily distracted. Like Patricia just mentioned, write that list, say this is what I'm going to do, and just get it done. So write that email
and
get that done.
focus on your income producing activities, your IPAs. You know, I mean, social media, we know that Facebook is the platform of choice for social media as well as YouTube. So if you're going to be on it, you're going to be on it to interact with people that have responded to your videos if you put them up, or to your posts, or to your quotes. And you're not on there just, you know, for fluff. You're not on there just fooling around. And then those people who, I know when I get on Facebook, for instance, I will check my messages. I will check the post. I try to limit it to 10 or 15 minutes. And if I have to respond to people, then I do, especially, again, people who have responded to my posts or what I'm going to say for my business. And then that might take a little longer, because, and then if you're chatting back and forth, what I do in the chat, I take them to the private chat and see if they're interested in what I'm doing, or if they are just fooling around and they're just, you know, they're just watching me. And like we had mentioned before on our videos, like I'll post a video and I see I could have maybe 15 comments, and maybe I'll have 50 likes. Now I'm getting a lot of likes. I had 100 likes on, over 100 likes on a couple of posts that I made. And then on the videos, I have over 100 views, but Facebook does not show who those views are. Now, if they did, and I took time to interact with each of those people socially, well, what did you like about my video? Are you interested in my business? I do a lot of lifestyle videos for that attraction marketing. So I have to go on Facebook and I have to look, but it doesn't take me all day to see what kind of reaction I'm getting. And I'm leading eventually people into, like the video I made, if you go to my wall right now or after this, you'll see what I did. I invited people to this hangout. So if I'm going to be on YouTube or make a video, it has to be business related, something that's going to lead my potential customers to see who I am as a person, and even my post, things like that. It's going to be beneficial and worthwhile for my business. Nothing that's fooling around or stuff I'll be fooling around for fun, you know, driving with my husband, or, you know, hey, Tatiana, who I'm babysitting, she's here. Sometimes we do a video together about my business, and she's a young person, so I can get other young people to see, you know, hey, this could be for me eventually in the future. I could have my own business online. So anyway, we just have to prioritize, Neil, like you said. Things just, you know, get away. 3 hours later, you're still watching YouTube. I know I did do that the other night. I was watching some, what is it, Britain's Got Talent, you know, 2015, because I wanted to know who won. And then here we are, late at night, my husband and I, he got home at 2:30 in the morning, and we're watching videos, you know, about that. But that was, you know, we have to have our downtime too. And the thing about working our own business is we are there more than 8 hours. You know, a regular job, we could go home, clock in, clock out. And sometimes when we have our own businesses, we could be working 10, 12 hours, depending on what we want to get done, because we fooled around and we didn't do what we're supposed to do. You know?
No, you're right. And we can easily get lost in time, but at the same time, it's kind of what you need to do to get started. And that's the thing. And if people want to get started, they have to be prepared to sacrifice their time. And it is, at first, it is, I'm not going to dispute, it is quite a bit of a chore to get started. However, the benefits of actually having a successful business and not having to clock in that 9-to-5 job is, for me, justified in why you need to focus on your business and sacrifice I'm not saying sacrifice everything. You know, I'm not saying don't talk to your family and don't go out with your friends. What I'm saying is just realize what's important to you. You know, you could easily go out with your friends. You could easily, you know, go out with go out with your friends, go to your family and this and that. And I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying, again, it's knowing what's important. Set aside some time for your business. And if it means, unfortunately, making a choice between the two, sometimes you have to make that decision and say, you know what, my business is more important, because you know what, that is going to get me where I need to go. Having a night out with my friends, you know, is something that can wait for a week, can wait for a month or whatever. You know, I've had friends that I haven't seen or heard of in a couple of months, but I know that when I do see them again, I'll just pick back up where I left off, because that is the kind of friendship that we have. We're not reliant on seeing each other every single day, but when we do catch up, it's like we're back to where we were, and we'll spend a couple of weeks together or whatever else. But you know, that's the kind of thing that I do. I don't sort of have a particular person in my life where I see them every single week, or you know, catch up with them on regular intervals. You know, the closest person to me, his name is Billy. I haven't seen him in about 4 months. I mean, we talk online and stuff, but it's like he's got things going off in his life, and I've got business and I've got things going off in my life. So it's like whenever it's convenient for me, it's not for him, and vice versa. So it's kind of just trying to find that common ground. But you know, I could quite easily say. If he comes to me and says, "Oh, do you want to come and see me tonight?" and I'm working on my business, and then I decide, you know what, that's more important than my business. It's like, that's not the right attitude. I'm not saying for 1 second that, you know, not seeing your friends isn't important. Sorry. What I'm trying to say is, at that present moment, your business is important because you need to work on it every single day. And when you've done the right activities, had I have done them by the time, you know, Billy wanted to catch up with me, then I could have caught up with him, no problem. But due to actually getting caught up and doing other things, I sort of lost track with what I needed to do, and again got caught up in the moment, got caught up in other things, and unfortunately I had to make the choice between going out with friends and working on my business. And you know,
there we go.
Mm-hmm.
No, you guys are frozen on me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
you okay?
You and Patricia are frozen on me. That was just real weird.
Uh-oh. Okay. It was going on our side. Neil wasn't frozen for me. That's interesting.
Okay. Well, hopefully it's good for everyone else. But yeah, all I was just basically saying was, you know, at moments you're going to have people come to you and say, do you fancy going out, or do you fancy doing this, or do you fancy, you know, it's my birthday on Monday, and tomorrow I've got my brother keep trying to get me to go out and do something, and I just keep saying to him, look, I'm not that bothered about going out and do stuff, but he keeps telling me we need to do something, it's your birthday, you've got to do something. It's like, I'm not that bothered. I've got work to do, I've got business to run, and you know, time's important, but that is for me not tomorrow, Sunday. That's when I want to spend time with my family. I want to catch up with people tomorrow. I want to finish everything that I've been doing, and that's the time I want to work on my business. So again, you just got choices to make, and this is my brother, you know, closest person to me, and I've got all the time in the world for him. But at times you have to say no, because you have to define what's more important at that present moment, and that does unfortunately mean making some harsh choices. But that doesn't mean to say that you have to make them forever. That's just a temporary thing whilst you get things going. So this is not to say that this is a permanent choice. This is not to say that every single time someone comes and sees you, you have to say, no, sorry, working on my business. If you build your business in the right way, then these choices will soon be gone, because you can either outsource them to someone else, or you won't have a particular job in your way, so you can get them away whilst everyone else is at work. So when they are at home, you can then go and spend your time to do whatever it is you want to do with your friends, family, or wherever it is you want to go.
Yeah. And actually, you know, we're building our own dreams. They're not other people's dreams. They're our dreams. Eventually, our dreams can affect our lives, and affect the people that are in our lives. And again, you know, it's back to Ian's why. He mentioned his family. Neil, you always mention your family and your brother and the little baby. You want to give him time, choice, freedom to be able to be with his little girl, or you have that freedom that you're making an income that you can help him babysit her or be with her and be involved in her life. And the same thing with me. The end result, what are my dreams? to retire my husband. And I know Andre has his dreams, so we have to look at that. Other people can't quite understand what we're doing until they're into it. But then when they start to see our results, they say, oh, okay, that's what it was all about. That's why they sacrificed their time, because they were building a lifestyle that they wanted, you know.
But notice as well, this is the one thing that I think someone did actually mention it to me when I first mentioned the reason why I'm doing this, and that is the very people that we're actually doing this for is the very people who are actually trying to warn us against doing this.
Yes.
And this is I think someone did actually mention it a little bit earlier on. Why is it that we pay more attention to the people that don't know anything about our particular business over and above the people that do know about this particular business? And that boils down to who you trust most. Now, the person I will trust most, or not, will trust most is my brother. You know, I listen to him. If he has got something to say, I will always listen to what he's got to say because I trust what he has to say. And obviously he's my brother, so I'm always going to take on board what he has to say. So sometimes it's not always productive for my business because he doesn't see the value in what we do, because he's a traditional 9-to-5 person. He thinks that you need to work, go out, work for someone, come home, and then you have time with your family. He doesn't understand the motto of building a business online and what it takes to build a business online. He doesn't see the premise in that. When I tried speaking to him about it, all I got from him was, well, I can't do that, it's too hard. And it just refuses to accept that it is possible for anybody to do once you make the decision. That's the biggest key. He hasn't made that decision, so I can't make it for him. And, you know, like I say, I just now separate the two. And that was something that I really did struggle with at first. And that, I think, was one of my biggest downfalls, is I was always listening to other people. And this is what I would encourage other people to. Don't listen to other people, because it's so easy to get caught up and listen to the very people who we hold dearly. But what we don't realise is these people don't understand what it takes to build a business. They still work in a 9-to-5 job. So anything where you can actually live freedom lifestyle and build a business online, which means it can be making money for you whilst you're not even at work, they don't understand the concept of it. And to them, that's just not something that's physically possible, because they just can't understand the reality of it. So you need to learn to separate the two. And unfortunately, their views, I will have to say this and this is something I've had to learn to separate, their views are not important, because their views are not going to serve the purpose in which you're trying. They're not going to serve a purpose that is going to help you build your business. You have to learn to separate the two, not listen to. We keep coming back to listening to what we call the naysayers. These people are exactly that. They're the naysayers. They're not bringing us down on purpose. They're trying to protect us, but they're only trying to protect us from something they don't understand.
That's brings me to, I wrote this down, and this was from one of our Inner Circle audios. They would have to purchase our product to know what it is, because there's a lot of wonderful, positive talks back there from people who are successful, and because they've been in our shoes, so they know what they're talking about. Like it says, why is success possible in this endeavor? You know, and this is a freelance endeavor. This is not a 9-to-5 job. Supposedly it's secure. That's why they don't understand. A 9-to-5 job is secure for them. So they don't understand our entrepreneurial spirit that we have and why we are doing our business. But it says, well-meaning people who we love and respect, and why are we going to allow them to dictate to us or steal our dreams? And I like that in quotes. Uh-oh, my darn phone is ringing. Hold on. I don't know. It's probably a telemarketer, and I'm trying to get rid of it. Here.
You'll go ahead and answer, because that's a great pattern to interrupt. I just wanted this to mention real quick too, but she's mentioning too that she was reading off of was one of our 6-figure earners. Now, obviously, anytime I mention income from pretty much our company, our results are never going to be typical. So you have to see the income disclosure statement below. But she's going down the list of some of the pretty much the naysayers, the limiting beliefs that we put in our heads too, which is really, again, it's not true. It's a waste of time too. You might as well just do your best to empty them out. And a lot of the stuff that she was mentioning in those inner circle audits, what she mentioned earlier too, is to basically rewash our brains from the negativity from the society. So keep on going, Patricia, about that.
Okay, well, I just wanted to mention this one. I'm not going to do all of them. There are 9 of them. But just that, the fact that your friends and family say, you know, hey, you guys can't do this. This is impossible. Because they've never experienced the business. They haven't done it themselves. Or maybe they've seen people fail or not have a tremendous amount of success. So why are we going to allow someone to control our thinking? Why? We have free will. We can make the choices that we want, and knowing that this is not like, okay, we're going to go out and burn down a village, you know, or something like this. These are positive things that, once again, if applied in our lives, we're trying to help them, first of all ourselves, and then them, trying to improve our lives plus their lives, right? And then one thing I like too, he said, your own mind, goals, and values. This is vitally important because we should value what we feel will make us and give us success. And we don't have to convince anyone that this is vital for them, but just knowing that it's vital for us. This is our well-being eventually, you know, psychologically, mentally, everything. It is something that makes us who we are, entrepreneurs. And it might take a while for us to do, but we'll get there as we don't give up, you know, and we don't want to use that word try, because try means that it may not work and it could fail, but we want to have our mindset and our goal always focused at success. And just another thing real fast, because I know for myself that I kind of said this, not knowing. Human beings have that fear of what they don't know. They're afraid of, right? But it's at here. All of us can learn. You know, it's irrelevant if you don't know it. When you were a child, did you know how to walk? Did you ever hear a baby when they start walking 18 months old or 2 years old? Well, by 2 they're walking. Have you ever said, of course a baby can't even talk at that age, but do they ever say, oh no, I can't do this. This is not for me. I can, and just plop down and never walk. A parent will do all that they could to take that child to a doctor, to see what's wrong, to try to find a solution to see why this child is not walking. Because this is a normal advancement that, you know, unless there's a real true physical problem or a disease where the child cannot walk, then yes. But even at still, we're never going to give up. We get braces. We try to overcome that stumbling block. So as entrepreneurs and in business, this is what we want to do. There's, like I said, a whole bunch of them. Maybe next week we could discuss a few more of these things, but that's just a few that I shared with you right now.
You know, another thing is, when it comes to being entrepreneurs, I mean, something that just actually rang a bell, actually. It was back to my days of when I was talking about the Andrew Reynolds product. And what we was doing is we was actually writing our own sales letters. And there was this one particular time, it actually rings a bell, when I was at home, and I was basically going through a sales letter. And it got quite late at night, so I thought, you know what, I'll deal with that in the morning. I used to have a house where I would cut off at a certain time at night, and I would refuse to do anything after a certain time of night until I got up in the morning. So again, I was kind of limiting how much work I would actually do, because I wasn't working as much as what I should, and I allowed myself to get distracted. I would only work, say, 2 hours, and then I'd say, right, shutting it off. I'm not doing anything else. Okay, that's fair enough. But this one particular time, I woke up at 2:30 in the morning. It was one of them where I just woke up and I knew that I was not getting back to sleep. It was just like I was proper wide awake, and no matter what I tried, I was not getting back to sleep. But at that present moment, you know, it occurred to me that I should be reading my sales letter, but I still had that regular 9 to 5 mindset where it's like, well, no, it's not. I need to be asleep right now. And I knew I couldn't sleep, but I still refused to work on my business or do anything in my business, because I would rather, at that present moment, I would prefer to go downstairs and watch TV, because for me, I kind of said to myself, I'm not working between this hour and that hour, kind of like the 9 to 5 thing. I'm not going to work beyond 9 to 5. So I kind of had that limitation where I was going to say I'm not going to work in between the hours of 11 p.m. and before I go to work. So 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. so to speak. So when I woke up at 2 in the morning, I'd already cut off the fact that I should be working. And well, I've got a bit of time. I'm not sleeping. I might as well read my sales letter, get something productive in my business. I was actually going, no, you know what? I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to do something because I need to try and get back to sleep. But I knew I wasn't going to go back to sleep. But I didn't. It didn't occur to me. And I think eventually it did. About 2 hours later, got to about 5 o'clock when again I was just about ready for getting up to go to work. But at that point, it's like, well, should I read my sales letter? And by then I was kind of like, well, no, I ain't got time now. So again, it's like I'd already said to myself, I'm not going to do something because I sort of had this perception in my mind that I could only work, or I should only be working at certain times of the day. So again, the thing with entrepreneurs, I mean, over in England, it's 5 to midnight. Now, had I have gone back to the original mindset, I would not be. I'd actually be in bed by now. I'd be like, no, I'm not working now. No chance. You know, this is my time. I'm going to spend it. I'm going to do whatever it is. But you know, this is not practical for your business. To get started, you need to do whatever it is that's important, and that means doing whatever it takes. Now, that whatever it takes can mean a whole different things to different people. So, you know, I can't unfortunately say you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. We can give you the basics. So, you know, emailing your list, recording videos, doing blog posts, things like that. Yes, of course. But it's also going that step beyond. So just making sure you're keeping on top of things. And if you've got nothing to do, work on your business. Take your business to the next level, because ultimately this is what you're working towards. You're working towards getting your business to the next level. But if you're automatically capping yourself and saying, I'm not going to work on my business on a Saturday, or I'm not going to work on my business after 11 p.m. at night time, or I'm not going to work on my business or whatever, you know, you're automatically throwing objections, and you're kind of basically saying, I'm not going to do this at this point. And you know, you're kind of contradicting the very message of what you need to do to get started. And that is basically just whatever it takes. All you need to do is just get that first success, and then like we was told in a particular hangout that we had a couple of weeks ago, you use that success to get another success, and then you use that success to get another success. And that's all you do. You're just looking to get quick wins and just get that first success. Do whatever it takes to get that first success. When you've got that, you go on to get another success, and you figure out how to repeat that process again and again and again and again. Now, like I said, I just kept whatever it was. I would limit myself to whatever it was I needed to do. I would always convince myself it was not important, or there was always something more important that I needed to do, or I needed to spend time with my friends. Or, you know, I convinced myself with all kind of things, and it just come back to the very point was, I just didn't really see my business as important. I didn't focus on my business, and that is ultimately what led to the fact that I just failed in that particular business, really.
Another thing too, since you're talking about a little bit of proof, Neil, is writing social proof that we can use, because I mean that's a great thing too, especially in the online world, as far as using that. Now that's very crucial. It's very important too, helping build your business, because we've been following real closely a guy in our business too. And again, when I'm always mentioning income claims, his results not typical, but he's a $700,000 earner in a company named Mike Hobbs, who's real big in using social proof, because he's had obviously just tremendous success with just naming the numbers right off rip too, but he's good as far as using videos and pretty much just getting out there too. Maybe he might show a little bit from his members from his own team getting a little win, small wins, as you mentioned, Neil. Like for example, like if you're just still staying with it, always blogging. If you're always blogging, stay consistent, trust me, you're going to get a share, a like, a comment. It's going to happen. This is going to happen when you stay consistent. I know Neil and I, when we were talking earlier too, as far as just sharing our blog posts, because that's our platform as far as getting our pretty much information out there. That's like our headquarters. Because just say something happens, let's say something funky happens on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever. Guess what? Our blog is still there. People can still go to the blog. Whether you have marketing tips, whether you have personal development. Maybe there's something that you like to share about your own story. People always want to go back to be able to refer to that. So that's a cool thing. I know since we've been following Mike Hobbs, there have been a couple of different platforms as far as he's been following somebody too who's big in the marketing profession, who's big as far as blogging as well. And a couple platforms that we've been using as far as that we learned were Google Plus too. I didn't know there were groups on Google Plus. Hint, hint, hint for those that join us too. That click that green link below. That you'll be able to see once you do have your blog platform. You can be able to share stuff, not so much on Facebook only, on LinkedIn, Twitter. Google Plus has groups. LinkedIn has groups. I don't know about Twitter as well, but I'm just saying there's different platforms. Yes, Pinterest as well. You can even use Instagram as well. Not so much not so much a different blog post, but you maybe just put your the domain name for your blog. But just to give you a little bit of a sneak peek as far as where you can put that information out there to the market, just so people can come and get attracted to you. Because people are always curious. That's the main thing. I remember learning that too in the offline world. People are always curious. That's how you're going to get people out of curiosity. People are always looking and whatnot. As Patricia mentioned, as far as what she's doing the videos, too, trust me, people are curious to see what in the world she's doing. We have somebody, Ian, he's just now doing a lot of videos as well. Trust me, he's getting a lot of interest as well. People are just always curious as well. So I mean, I'm just telling you that it does work when you stay consistent with it. Because again, like we were mentioning earlier, this whole topic for tonight, that's very important too. And I just wanted to share that real quickly as far as the social proof.
I was going to say, remember last hangout, we mentioned, or I mentioned that he should do his videos because I've never been on a farm. Other than go to the fair with the little small animals, when I was little, like a petting zoo. But he started doing his videos. And, yeah, I go and comment on him, and I notice when I start commenting, when it goes back up to the news feed, and then other people see them, and other people start commenting on them, because his life is unique. Like, I know that like I said, never worked on a farm. I may know a little bit about football, and Neil, I haven't seen that many videos from Neil.
No, I am working on my videos now, so yes, I will be posting a lot of videos very, very soon.
Yeah, because you said you spent, all day today doing your videos?
And yesterday.
So we're anxious that, we're doing a challenge or something. I don't know, are you doing a challenge?
Not so much that. Mine's more focused towards my people who are going to subscribe to my newsletter. So it's focused towards the training that I will provide when they enter their name and email and subscribe to my list. I'll give them free training on a specific method. So it's kind of helping them to build their business using. To be honest, there's a few different methods in there. To be honest, so there's Instagram, how to use YouTube, because I've actually purchased a course quite recently of YouTube. I don't know if sorry, you froze there. I wasn't sure if you were still there or not, but yeah, I purchased YouTube videos. A YouTube course. So I've actually been going through that too, and I've learned how I've not actually managed to done it yet, but this is something I'm working on right now, and that is how to get your YouTube video onto the first page of Google. And that's something I've learned how to do it. I just haven't actually done it. That's something I'm working on right now. So that's something that I'm hoping, like I said, once I get that done, I will get a lot of people. I'll record a video to show people how to do it, and then ultimately, hopefully, that will help people have a massive breakthrough too. So there's a lot of things I'm working on at the moment, but like I said, I've just been working in the background because I've realised the one thing I need to be working on is what I can give to my people who is going to take the time out and subscribe to my email list. So that's what I've been working on yesterday and today.
Yeah, and so see if people join you or join this hangout, they can learn how to do that. Just what do they have to do? To be able to do that, though, is click that green button below.
Click the link. Should be about there.
Yes. Click that link below.
Well, since we're pretty much gotten pretty much a good bit of things
Because Ian
all
was
kind
sick.
of things done.
Ian,
So
I
what
think, passed out on us.
he
He
might
said
be he might be working.
no,
This is,
I think he says he's not very well, so I think he
oh,
might
yeah.
have
Yeah.
he might
I
have
hope
gone to
he's
bed
okay.
or something.
He said
Yeah,
his computer was not working or something like that.
no, he's using his phone, but it's just gone midnight our time now, so chances are, if he's not feeling very well, he's probably gone to bed, and hopefully he'll feel a bit better in the morning. But yeah, he's I've not seen him, so he's probably just gone to sleep. Maybe well, it depends on how he's feeling. He's probably just passed out for a couple of hours. But yeah, so shall we just round up, summarise what we've been discussing tonight? So basically, I suppose the message I've been trying to convey is, I'm not saying for one second that you can't interact with your people. I'm not saying for one second you should ignore everyone. But what I'm saying is you need to find what's important to you and what you need to be doing every single day. So again, if you're talking about email, get that email written, and then if you're waiting for an email from a particular person, make sure you check that person, that your emails for that. But if you see any other emails and there's something that you think, all right, well, I want to read that can wait till later. Okay, this understand the difference. I'm not saying for one second don't do it. I'm just saying there is a time and a place for it. So focus on your income producing activities, something that Trish alluded to earlier. Focus on your income producing activity. If you're going to do something, ask yourself, is this going to help me build my business? Is this going to bring me in any money? And if the answer is no, don't do it. Wait till later, and then get done what you need to get done, and then you can make time for that later.
And as this is part 4 in our multi-part webcast series, I am
Uh-oh.
that's fine.
Our webcast.
Also, I wanted to add on to that as well, as far as below, once you do decide to join our team too, we do have a system in place that can help you pretty much prioritize things as well, as far as what are important, and pretty much get it out there for you to pay attention to right off the rip. Like, for example, once you do click the link below, that system below will be able to ask you as far as what you want, because that's the main thing. Is what Ian brought up earlier in the hangout. What do you want as far as your own why too? And they can obviously categorize it, whether it's close or maybe not so close, or maybe it's pretty much around that income that you're looking for per month too. That can maybe help you as far as okay, this is what you're looking for to get what you want, whether it be maybe your freedom, maybe a little bit more time too. When it comes down to it, that's just to be able to help out as well as some other marketing strategies too. Because as we mentioned earlier tonight, the main platform we have is our blog platform, so you can pretty much get your content out there too. That's, like I said, what you want to talk about, that's on you. If you want to keep on putting the good information in your head, like we mentioned earlier, as far as inspirational audios, which you should be doing as well.
Andre, don't forget the free gift that they have. The other button down there, the free gift.
Oh yes, that's another good one too for you as well. It's just we're talking about. So what again?
For their mindset.
Oh yes, that's crucial too, because you're talking about important. If we're talking about any type of business in the home-based world, you have to have your personal development as well, and that free ebook is for you as well. Because if you ever haven't heard of Napoleon Hill, I would highly recommend that you click that blue button as well, because that's yours for free. Then you hop on over there and click the other link as well to join our team, because that was just one of his books as far as helping your mindset, and it's pretty much the godfather of personal development. Yeah, I don't mind if I got to talk in front of the noise of the background. It's a great pattern, because now you're really paying attention to what I'm saying, now that you have your attention. But anyway, in short too, we just want to just share those with you as well, as far as helping you build your business. Your mindset, that's very important. 2, for you to make a decision to come join our team, because we'd love to have you on our team. Obviously, we'd love to help empower you to, and pretty much get in our community as well, as far as helping build your business. Because that's pretty much what does Zig Ziglar say: you can only help people, you can help enough people, you can help yourself, you help enough people. Basically paraphrasing, and that's so true. So just wanted to share that as well with you. So with anything else too, because with that being said, same time, same place next week. Unless anybody else has anything else to say besides ESD.
No, I'm cool.
So just see them next week.
All right.
All right, we'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Get like those bathtub-sized tubs.